Destiny 2 Edge of Fate is not grindy, nor does it have artificial leveling. Now wait. Put your pitchforks down, okay? Put them down. I know, I get it. I understand the player perspective, but give me till the end of this video to convince you that it's not as bad and as doomsday as a lot of people cutting it out to be. First, let me talk about the cons of the grind in pre-Edge of Fate, or should I say lack thereof. Players were complaining about having to grind light per season, so Bungie listened to the player base and stopped making players have to grind for light level and introduced their new system where if you like falling behind in light, you can piggyback off of your friend's light level in a fire team. The light level grind was non-existent, and when they reintroduced it, it only went up by 10 light level per season. So what did this cause? I'm gonna refer to this as the Genshin Impact effect. Let me elaborate. If you played Genshin Impact when it first came out, it was filled with content to do in the open world, side quests and all. But once you grinded to max level, discovered everything in the world, you had nothing to do until next major update. So what did players do? They will hop on the game, do their dailies for a daily reward, 80 Primo Gems, I still remember, which took about 5 minutes, and then you'll just hop off the game, go do something else. There was nothing else to do. That was the state Destiny 2 was in. Players will hop on for one day during the week, do a seasonal campaign or weeklies for the week, which probably took like 2 hours, then never touch the game until next week reset. If seasonal campaign was done, they really didn't touch the game at all. Meta weapons were craftable, so most god rolls were attained already. Good stat roll armor was easy to focus with 99 plus Ingram just waiting in your inventory, and exotic Ingrams dropped like water for us to focus. Good stat exotics, So light level had no meaning for any content in the game. It was just a number. Once you was able to do GMs, Grandmasters, you was done. There was no incentives to work towards. The bonus light from artifact was meaningless. Guardian rank was meaningless. There was no grind in Destiny whatsoever for a loot and shooter live service game, and player count and retention proved it. Bungie had to change things up completely. So here we are in Edge of Fate. In Edge of Fate, players have incentives. The higher your power level, including Guardian rank, the better the loot you'll earn. Every activity in the game worked towards that power level too. So it's not just a weekly 2-hour session and then, same next week cycle. Not only that, you're able to lessen RNG by playing certain activities for specific loot that's lagging behind in power. Not including Attunement on Kepler with the seasonal activity there, and Zavala giving higher power gear each week for doing his quest in the seasonal hub each week, and events like Arm Suite that's going on right now giving free powerful gear out as well. Pretty sure Solstice is going to do the same thing as well. The list goes on. Unlike pre-Edge of Fate, I feel like I can hop on the game for 5 minutes and my power level goes up magically without me even trying. So if loot and power grind is this easy and plentiful, and our time is being rewarded no matter how much we spend on the game, why are players complaining? 3 reasons. 1, how long the grind is to get to max power level. 2, casual and tryhard death. And 3, misunderstanding as per usual in the Destiny community. I'm going to tackle each point and it should give you a breather to relax. So first off, the grind. So it's been said that it should take about 47 to 90 hours to get to power level 450. Why do players have to get to 450, you may ask? Because Destiny 2 have power thresholds that determines your loot drop. If you at the power level of 200 and 300, then tier 2 armor drops for you and you got a chance for tier 3 to drop for you. If you're at 300 to 400 power level, then tier 3 armor and loot drops for you with a chance of tier 4. And then if you're at 400 power level, then tier 4 armor drop for you and loot and a chance of a tier 5. Of course, players want the best of the best loot, so they're aiming for 400 to 450 power level. But here's where a lot of misunderstanding is coming from. Bungie said our levels will reset back to 200 at the end of the season. Inside the game, it says, and I quote, season ends in like 40 days. But that's incorrect. Bungie changed their season pass page to reward pass, and that's important here. meaning the season doesn't end in 40 days. The rewards get updated in 40 days. This is because in September there is a major mid-season update that happens with the Playlands Bungie spoke of. The season doesn't actually end until Renegade, aka end of the year. So relax, you got time. That's like 5-6 months from the release date of Edge of Fate. That's 182 days. If it takes 90 hours max, that's max, okay? You can do shortcuts to lessen that time. But if it takes 90 hours max to get to 450 power, you literally only need to invest 2 hours of playtime a day to hit 450 before next expansion, which is casual numbers. The average playtime of a casual gamer is 6 hours to 10 hours per week. So even a casual gamer can hit that power level taking their time. The higher your Guardian rank, the quicker it is. If you farm in the quickest solo op mission, the quicker it is. With perfect optimization, it won't take 90 hours. Also, you only need 400 power to get the best gear in the game, not 450. So it's less time than that, to be honest. The grind hours only rack up because of the grind from 400 to 450. You're relying on Prime Engrams to drop to raise power. But again, tier 4 and tier 5 loot drops when you hit 400, so you don't need 450. So the real question is, what's the rush? I think Bungie did an amazing job balancing a playstyle for casuals and tryhards in this expansion. Besides the new conquest activity in the game that replaced Grandmasters, everything is available for casual players. You can play and beat any activity in the game, even the newest difficulty Mythic. You don't need any high tier gear to accomplish these things either. Pre-Edge of Fate gear and builds are enough. It's funny actually because players were complaining about their gear becoming obsolete in Edge of Fate, but Bungie literally allowed our old gear to still be able to accomplish all activities in the game, except Conquest because of the modifier you need to have featured gear on in order to play the activity. And players are still upset about not being able to get tier 4 and tier 5 loot easy. Listen, if you're a casual player, you're able to play everything in the game with the low investment time you have, and still able to get tier 4 loot per week from doing the 2 weekly mythic missions, giving you 2 tier 4 loot. And we got events going on like Arms Week that also gives away tier 4 loot and in the future tier 5 loot. The only activity that's locked behind a power wall is Conquest, and as you slowly grind your power up, you're able to play them one by one. And like the math I've proven, you'll get to that power eventually before the season ends. There's no rush. Bungie made the game open for casual players to take their time in the game and made the game rewarding for players that grind the game out. The tryhards will have tier 4 and tier 5 loot to showcase their renown and devotion to the game, and be rewarded with better stats and cosmetics, while casual players are still able to complete the exact same activities in game with tier 1 loot. There's nothing imbalanced here. Players are being rewarded for their time, and players won't feel FOMO if they don't got the time to play much. It's a win-win. I think players are just trying to rush the process instead of just enjoying the game with friends. I play the game for fun with friends, and my power naturally goes up while having fun. We have 6 months. No reason to burn yourself out replaying the same mission over and over and over again if you don't enjoy that type of gaming session. I enjoy it because I'm used to playing and grinding RPG games like Persona, Final Fantasy, and Expedition 33. But if it's not your cup of tea, don't sweat about it. Tier 4 and tier 5 loot is just for min-maxing and cosmetics. It's not required. By the way, power increases during the mid-season major update as well, I believe, raising the power cap from 450 to 550. So Bungie may make it easier to get to 450 power during that time, and most likely will make 500 power drop tier 5 gear automatically. So abide your time. Don't burn yourself out if that's not your playstyle. You ain't missing out on nothing but cosmetics and better armor stats. But as you can see, you don't need crazy armor stats to accomplish things in the game already. Let the tryhards enjoy their side of the game, and you enjoy your side of the game. And for the players that are saying it's a waste of time, power going to reset at the end of the season anyway, bruh, this just as bad as the players that don't want to use a build because it utilized the artifact perks and won't be good after the season. The season ends in 6 months. 6 months. Enjoy the game now. 6 months is a long time from now. That reset is in the distant future. Also, just because power reset doesn't mean the gear goes away. You will keep your tier 4 and tier 5 armor with good stats. You will keep your cool looking guns that have a god roll to them. So yes, if you want to mid-max, there's no drawback. Now, I get it. Some players see this as gatekeeping loot and activities. I can see that perspective. But you also got to look at the tryhard perspectives. If it was possible to get tier 4 and tier 5 loot within a few hours, everyone would have it by now and wouldn't have a reason to play Destiny right now, and you wouldn't feel special achieving it. Some would say they need to add more content then. You can only add so much content in the game, especially if it's available immediately to everyone. Bungie added 2 things in the game that they gatekeep behind level, and it's something players don't have to get or do, and that's tier 5 loot and conquest, which is only there for you to get tier 4 or tier 5 loot. So again, what is Bungie really gatekeeping here? Everyone can play the raids, dungeons, story, play whatever they want for power, get all weapons, armor, etc. There's nothing behind a power wall. Power is not blocking people out of anything besides mid-maxing. Bungie made sure power is only for mid-maxing in the game, so players have an incentive to chase after if they want to keep playing the game in their free time. But to be honest, if you got everything you want from Edge of Fate, you can stop playing right now and won't feel left behind at all. You will still be able to play future content. I think the route they took is good game design this time around. More time spent in the game equals min-maxing and cosmetics. Less time in the game equals no penalty. No gun or specific armor set is locked behind a power wall as well, a power wall as of right now. Unlike during the time pinnacle weapons were a thing, and tryhards had an advantage over casuals with their Lunar Howls, Recluse, and Mountaintops. Those extra stats or weapon cosmetics won't cause someone to outplay you in PvP, nor cause a big gap build. Big gap between builds and PvE. A god roll gun that's tier 1 is still gonna be just as good as a tier 5 god tier gun. It's still gonna be the same. It's not gonna be that big of a difference. You still get the job done, the exact same builds and everything. If I had to add any cons to the grind, it would be the Prime Ingram grind from power 400 to 450. Should have stayed the same way. That RNG didn't play a factor with the Prime Ingrams. You know what I'm saying? Like that RNG gonna hurt. That, and add more reward drops in solo ops so that players don't feel forced to play the same mission over and over again because it's the fastest mission to do. I know players gonna optimize the best route no matter what, but for casual players, it would be a good thing. It would keep the game a bit more fresh. Also, have a more variety of portal missions. Change every day with no dupes for a week before recycling missions, so that the player experience doesn't get boring. Too many missions is in the game right now, from all the way back to Red World, okay, and the vault and everything. Too many missions are in the game for us to still be playing the same exotic quests and story missions. Take some of them out the content vault. Let me run a mission on Titan or Mercury for nostalgia's sake. All in all, it's not as much of a grind players making it out to be. All players just wanted to be able to get tier 4 and tier 5 loot in a little time without much investment. That's the real thing here that people complaining about. Not realizing it was going to be mid-max gear since Bungie hyped it up, before Edge of Fate launch. Definitely bad advertisement on Bungie's part. They made it seem like everybody be able to get tier 4 and tier 5, not tier 4 and tier 5 loot being, mid-max type of loot to look for the tryhards that invest a lot of time in the game, right? Bungie did give mythic missions every week, so casuals still would get 2 pieces of tier 4 gear each week, so they can still get tier 4 loot. And again, you got events like Arm Week and stuff that are gonna be able to give you tier 4 and tier 5 loot as well. Raid will give high tier loot as well when Expert comes out, so players have plenty of other ways to get tier 4 and tier 5 loot without having to do the power grind. I think Bungie struck a good balance here and appealed to casuals and tryhards perfectly. Tryhards will have something to showcase their investment in the game now, and casuals won't feel like they've been cucked because of not investing hella time into the game. Bungie has finally added a good chase mechanic in the game, and I can only see improvements in the near future. The system isn't perfect, but it's definitely the right direction, and I give Bungie their flowers for that. Let me know what y'all think down below and tell me, was I able to sway your opinions and give you a breather? Love and appreciate you guys as always, and until next time, stay up.